What's up, YouTube? BX Bowler coming at y'all. 11/2/2010 sports blog update. Well, last night or yesterday, I told you I was going to make a game 5 through 7 if necessary video for the World Series. Well, I decided to split it since this is going to be a new thing for me for making video blogs about sports, basically. So basically, if you watch the World Series, you know who won. I'll put up the hat though. Congratulations to the Giants. Sorry, congratulations to the Giants on their accomplishment and their first World Series win since 1958. After that, I think they beat the Yankees. They might have beat the Yankees in '58 when they were called the New York Giants. But that's besides the point. So congratulations to them. And Texas, maybe next year. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's the Yankees next year. And I put a question up on my Facebook status. Cliff to New York, because I was joking around with my brother, saying that and Cliff Lee can pack his bags to the Bronx, because I thought that if the Texas Rangers lose the World Series, then Cliff Lee is going to come to New York. I hope that's the case. So the Yankees really need to buckle down this winter, get bullpen, get Cliff Lee a starting pitcher, and they need to get fill the DH position and the backup first base position, basically. So moving on, we're going to talk about basketball. Talk about the New York Knicks. Their game tonight is against Orlando, but it's at New York. So there was a commercial that said that Dwight Howard dominance in the paint coming into New York, having his way, is over. I'm not sure about that. The Knicks only have Amari Stoudemire and Raymond Felton basically as their stars. Wilson Chandler seems like he's making a name for himself, and Danilo Gallinari's injured with his wrist, and he's not doing that well. And Wilson Chandler's coming off the bench. And Landry Fields is making a name for himself. That's basically it. But compared, excuse me, compared to the Magic lineup with Jameer Nelson, Vince Carter, Rashard Lewis, Dwight Howard, and I think Brandon Bass is in the starting lineup as the power forward. I'm not sure. You can't compare those two lineups. Sorry, but I think tonight's going to be another loss for the Knicks. So I'm going to predict that the Knicks are going to have a 1-3 record. Not just because of past times. The Knicks are a different team. If you saw the game on Saturday, if Knicks fans saw the game on Saturday, you could tell that they're a different team. They actually almost beat the Blazers. It's just that Amari Stoudemire wasn't playing that well, and Raymond Felton kept messing up. The rest of the Knicks was doing pretty well, with the exception of Danilo Gallinari. Danilo Gallinari wasn't doing that well. Ever since he had the wrist problem, it's been a little shaky for him so far for his season. Wilson Chandler has been doing pretty well for the Knicks. He seems like he's got his three-point shot back. I've never said Wilson Chandler's three-point shot was gone, but it definitely seemed like he came back, which is a good thing for the Knicks. Because Mike D'Antoni, again, his system is run and gun. That's old school West Coast basketball, run and gun. You look at the 80s Lakers and stuff like that, and teams like that, all their thing, they were called the Showtime Lakers. Showtime Lakers thing was run and gun. Old school West Coast basketball, run and gun. Run, and you shoot. And you keep the pace quick. Well, East Coast basketball is starting to be like that now. Not because of Mike D'Antoni, because a lot of East Coast coaches, or a lot of East Coast coaches, yeah, were West Coast coaches, and they used to have that same policy. So, another important game I'm trying to see right here might be Boston and Detroit, but most most New York fans won't see that. And that's basically it. Oh, and John Wall's playing tonight again. Oh, and another important game for basketball might have to be the Cleveland versus the Hawks. Joe Johnson versus Mo Williams, or Joe Johnson, Mike Bibby versus Mo Williams and Antoine Jameson. That's basically it with that. So again, for New York news, I guess basketball news. I'll give you a prediction on Melo. I think he's gonna come to New York. There's been recent reports that Spike Lee actually talked to him at his wedding. The same thing with Chris Paul. Remember in my Knicks 2010 summer move video, I mentioned that Chris Paul said that we can form our own big three, and in reference to him and Melo joining Amari in New York. Well, those rumors seem like they're coming to pass, because Spike Lee says without a doubt he knows that Melo wants to be a New York Knick, and he knows that he doesn't want to be on Denver. And this shows, or this is being seen by Melo saying it's time for a change in Denver. And also, after I made my Knicks 2010 video, he had the contract extension on the table in July. It's November. He didn't sign it yet. So obviously he doesn't want to be in Denver. And Denver keeps thinking that he wants to be in Denver, but he doesn't. He would have signed the contract extension when he had it to him on the table right after LeBron James made his decision. He would have had it on the table ready to be signed, basically. It was ready to be signed. He could have signed it in July, but he didn't. It's November and he still didn't sign it. So basically, it says that either he wants to go to the Knicks or he wants to go to the Nets. Most likely he's going to go to the Knicks because he does have a relationship with Amari Stoudemire. And then the pieces will fall. They're saying that the Knicks might trade Danilo Gallinari and Wilson Chandler, or it just might be Danilo Gallinari or Wilson Chandler being traded to Denver. In my opinion, I say trade Danilo Gallinari. He has a wrist injury. He's not producing well this year. I don't think I can see him become a better player on the Knicks, even in Mike D'Antoni's system. But I think Melo is pretty good for this system. And Chris Paul will fit well into this Mike D'Antoni system. Chris Paul's going to come if Melo comes. If Melo goes to New York, Chris Paul's going to go to New York. People said Tony Parker was supposed to go to New York. He signed a $65 million contract extension. I didn't even really want to see Tony Parker in the Knicks jersey, because I don't think Tony Parker cannot fit in Mike D'Antoni's system. What Mike D'Antoni wants for all point guards that come to New York is to be exactly like the former top point guard in the league, Steve Nash. Pass first point guard, not score first point guard and then pass. No, that's what Tony Parker is. Tony Parker is not a pass first point guard. So I'm done. So this is the BX Bowler, finishing his sports blog, edition 1. I might have another video coming out soon about the Knicks score for the Orlando Magic game. Shout out to my man's J Free, C Free, my man's Q, and my man's Rob. And basically, that's it. So this is the BX Ball signing out.